Throwback to 8th grade. It's a school night and you're studying for the following day. You have a quiz on the elements of the periodic table and an oral exam on the state capitals. You're thinking to yourself, I have to learn all this stuff very quickly. So what do? You grab some flashcards and a pen or pencil, and you get to work. I'm positive most, if not all of you, have at some point in your lives made flashcards as a study assistant. They are the tried and true method for basic memorization. But flashcards don't just have to be for science and social studies, they can also be used to learn music theory. Now, I know the whole rote memorization thing has seen its day, and it's come and gone, at least in an academic sense. But the truth is, as a musician, there's just some things that you're gonna have to be able to recall. Some of these things include key signatures, relative major and minor keys, and your triads. In this video, I'm gonna show you how you can use flashcards to help you memorize these basic essential elements of music theory. The first thing we'll look at is key signatures. They basically tell you what key a piece of music is in. We're able to tell the key by looking at the number of accidentals after the clef. It's the first thing that appears on a piece of sheet music, so it's very important to get these down. So, I begin making the flashcard by writing the key on the blank side. Let's start with C major, since that is usually where people start. Okay, so after I write the key name, I flip over to the side of the flashcard with the lines. I'm gonna take a ruler or something straight and draw out 5 lines. These 5 lines resemble the staff. I am then going to draw out the clef. I'll be using treble clef, but any clef works for this. The key of C has no sharps or flats in it, so I don't have to write any accidentals. That one was easy, so let's move on to something with a little more sharps or flats. Let's take E major. E major has 4 sharps. So after I draw out my staff and clef, I start to draw out the sharps. In E major, we have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. And there you go. Continue this process until you have one written out for every key. The second example we'll look at is our relative major and minor keys. Relative keys are major and minor keys that share the same key signature. It's when a particular minor key has the same notes as a particular major key, just in a different order and vice versa. When talking in terms of a major key, the relative minor of that major key is the 6th scale degree of the major key. That means that in a major scale, the 6th note is the relative minor of that major scale. Let's make these flashcards and you'll see what I mean. Let's take G major for example. But before we go guessing what the relative minor is, let's identify the scale degrees of G major. In G major, our first note, also known as the tonic, is G. Our second note is A. Our third note is B. Our fourth note is C. Our fifth is D. Our sixth note is E. Our seventh note is F sharp, and then we end up an octave up back on our G. So remember, I said that to find a relative minor key, all we need to do is identify the 6th scale degree of whatever major key we're looking at. In G major, our 6th note is E. That means the relative minor of G is E minor. Simple enough, wouldn't you say? Follow this method for writing out the rest of the keys, then quiz yourself when you're done. The last set of flashcards we're going to make is for major and minor triads. We're even going to up the ante a little by also including their inversions. Now, I'm going to be releasing a video on triads soon, but in the meantime, if you don't know what triads or chord inversions are, a quick little YouTube search will help you find what you're looking for. Let's get started. I don't want to start with C major because that's what people start with all the time, so let's do F major. So we're going to write F major on one side. We're then going to flip over our card and write out all the notes in F major. In F major, our root is F, our third is A, and our fifth is C. Bam, that was easy. We'll then move on to our next card, which will be F major, first inversion. A first inversion major chord means that we now start on the third, which in this case is an A. So I'll write out A, and then from there, write out the rest. So our fifth is still C, and our root is still F. All we did to form an inversion was move our first note in the triad to the end to form a new triad. We'll finish this up by doing the second inversion in F major. So we'll write out F major, second inversion. Flip it over and write out all the notes. Make sure to do these for major and minor chords, and don't forget to include inversions. When you're done, shuffle all the cards up real good and begin practicing. These flashcards have been the most useful ones for me out of the bunch. After only a few weeks of practicing them, I'm able to identify what notes are in a chord almost immediately. And I know that doesn't seem like such a big deal, but it really helps when I need to analyze a piece of music quickly or find the right notes for a song. So trust me guys, just try this method out. It is really not hard or very time consuming to make flashcards. Try out the ones that I suggested and go further by exploring new concepts and making your own. Get creative with it. I personally think this is actually kind of fun. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you would like me to cover regarding guitar, music, or anything about practice. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.